Hold on a second. We gotta slow this down because today we are free. We are just going with the flow. So we're just making stuff as we go. So Vinny, hold on. Let me go back.
There you go.
Welcome
There you
to
go.
another episode of
There
Viva
you
Los
go.
Bills. I'm Will, your host, aka Buffalo Will. My co-host, the man, Vinny,
What
aka
up? What
Cousin
up? What's up?
Vinny.
What's up?
What's going
What's
on,
going
bro?
on? Man, a lot of news. A lot of news to talk about.
A lot of news. Hold on, let me take a few steps back. We're also joined as always by the man Big Bobby Blackjack in the background, coming to you live on I-95 Sports Network and also channel 198 on Zingo TV and across on YouTube and everywhere else. Hey, welcome now. All right, now we can start this off.
There you
How was your
go.
week, man? How was your week?
Everything good. Just working, man, and just surprised at some of the news that's coming out all across the NFL, man. I've been just reading about it and like, wow, man, are we even gonna have a season after listening to all these news reports? It's kind of like it's getting grimmer by the minute, you know. So I don't know what to think at this point.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy right now. Uh, So we'll just run with that and see how it goes. Another thing, hey man, happy what is it? 716. That's the area
Seven
code.
one
All the
six
Buffalo
day. That's right.
Bill fans are saying this.
That's right.
716. So welcome. Happy
Happy Buffalo Day.
716. Yeah, Buffalo Day. I didn't even know about that. Now I do. Learning. That's what happens. All right. Let's skip into these things. We could take our time, like I said, and we're off. First thing I want to say, NFL news. Philadelphia Eagles will not allow fans to attend the games this fall. What happened the next day? They changed their mind. They said, we didn't make up any of that. We didn't say that yet. So they're still looking to see what happens. They're not sure what's going to go on yet. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, and then today I was reading the Miami Dolphins. They're saying they're not going to allow any fans to the preseason, or actually the camps, or
Mhm.
preseason games, and no tailgating whatsoever, even for the regular
Whatsoever, yeah.
season.
I've
I
heard
mean,
actually some stadiums they're saying that some stadiums gonna have cutouts of people in there. Did you hear anything about that?
I did not hear that. That would be kind of crazy
That
if
must
it
be a
did.
stupid rumor going around. I must have read.
Listen, man, anything's possible. The way this is going, we don't know. It's
Man, it's
it's
insane.
it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. But I guess, hey, if the Philadelphias do it, other people are going to follow suit. Miami Dolphins already saying that, so
Yeah,
they're already taking it. And your town is one of those hot spots, right?
yeah, man.
So,
Miami right now is a super hot spot. So, I mean, Florida in general. I live in Florida, so I
mhm.
mean, we're like everything's going crazy down here. You know, we got uh, just a high percentage of COVID now, especially down in Miami area. It's like a real hotbed right now. So I can't blame them if they decide not to, have people in the stadiums because it's just so. I mean, we'll talk about it later on, but there's a number of NFL players that have been battling with the COVID. I think the total number right now is what is it, 72 or something. But
I
we'll
think
talk
I
about that in a
read.
little while.
Yeah, no, well, we could talk about it now. Whatever. Let's keep flowing. Let's roll with the flow. Yeah, as of right now, I think it was 72 players that tested positive. I don't think they said where exactly it was, but yeah, it's nuts. This stuff is
There's a couple guys that I've read. Rams center Brian Allen,
okay.
Broncos linebacker Von Miller,
Yvonne
Ezekiel
Miller
Elliott.
had it though. Yeah, those two we already knew. This is saying as
Yeah.
of last Friday.
So there's all totally new. Even Ezekiel Elliott, you knew about
Zeke,
him?
yeah, Zeke.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about it. I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So 72 guys in the NFL. So I mean, I know by the time the season comes along, preseason and everything, they'll probably be already done with it. But I mean, how do you look at it as a player? Like, man, this dude got it. You know what I mean? He had it already. Am I going to contract it? So I mean, we don't know what their mindset is. Me and you
Yeah.
know that. Once you get it, you could. Can you get it again? I
I
don't know.
I think the rumor was that you can get it again.
Oh wow,
Yeah, again, we don't know. Nobody really
I
knows.
don't
Some
know.
say yes, some say no. But I believe one of the last things was that yeah, they can get it again. So, this
Yeah,
again, it's all just hearsay or learning on the go.
so many questions. What's up, Kurt? Appreciate you checking in, man. But it's just crazy. I mean, what we don't know what to expect. Everybody's, saying, yeah, we're gonna have a season, and then all of a sudden, all these little news snippets come out of new developments. Like by the time we get to where we're gonna have to start camp and everything, who knows if we're even gonna have camp? I mean, they're saying we are and everything, but
Yeah.
man, it's looking grim, man. It ain't looking good, especially if we have that amount of players with the COVID-19. You know, what's gonna happen when they go to camp?
Yeah. They were saying, I believe, it will be put on a 3-week, like, not chemo, quarantine. They will have
Quarantine?
to be in 3 weeks of quarantine before they'll be able to to come back to the team, as long as it's not positive. So
That's crazy.
it's
That's
gonna,
crazy. That's a quarter of the season pretty much. So
yeah, if it
let's say you get
happens, yeah,
let's say you get two of your major guys. I'm not gonna say I don't even want to jinx our team, but let's say some other team's quarterback and running back catches it. Now what do? You know what I mean? It's like
hmm
your whole aspiration for the whole season is now pretty much, unless you have really good backups and you can rely on them. But real talk, you want your starters in there.
yeah. No, I mean, it's crazy. You need that, and it's just weird, dude. We're all learning.
Man,
It's a learning process, and we're just gonna go from there. Uh, all right. Another thing, NFL is tinkering with the possibility of a mouth shield. Yeah, to be worn by the players. You know,
a
uh,
what?
mouth shield. So you're gonna have your face mask. You
I
know how
didn't even
some
read
guys
that.
have the
That's
visors. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think Oakley, actually, Bobby, what you want, there it is. There's a picture of it. There's still holes there, though. I mean, it would
That's
be good.
insane.
So, it has holes, so I don't know how that's going to work, because you're still breathing on the person, maybe not as much. The one thing it will help with is that bottom face mask when people are trying to grab it. You're not going to be
Yeah.
able to grab it. So, I mean, that's good for that part,
Ha-
but you're going to wear this. There was another one. I don't know if you have the other picture. Uh, yeah, these are drawings. So there's different versions of them. I mean, some are solid. I guess that would make sense. But if they have holes, that's just defeating the whole purpose. So, I mean, that
Oh my
makes no
gosh.
sense. But already on record, JJ, the man, what? Everybody listens to JJ. He made it clear that he would not be okay with wearing a mouth shield, saying, if it is a league mandate, I don't think you're going to see me on the field. So that's
Mm.
kind of, I don't want to say ballsy. He was like, damn, he's like, you're making me wear this face mask. I'm not going to wear it. But again, if you're going to wear the ones with the holes in the mouth, it makes no sense. You're still
It defeats the purpose.
defeats the
And
purpose.
the way that can Bobby, can you put that back up again real quick? I mean, it looks like it'll kind of like restrict your breathing. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
yeah, I think that's
Uh,
the problem with him is like some of the players are going to say, okay, that's less air coming in. So on this
yeah.
bottom drawing, you can see the holes are on opposite sides.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's probably one of the problems these guys are thinking like, hey, it's going to restrict my breathing. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. That's a tough position, man. I mean, wow. Um, I think they have different ones. They have the face shields and the mouth shields, correct? Or do they have one piece things also?
well, yeah. But no, I think some people wear the face shield. I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
have both. I mean, some people want to wear that. I mean, the face shield helps with getting poked in the eye. When it's
Yeah.
raining, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, when I played high school ball, it was a long time ago, they started coming out with those visors. So
Yeah.
they're not bad, but they do get fogged up. If you're playing in the cold weather games, man, you're going to get fogged up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having both on, then you're restricting some of that air.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot, man. That's a lot to ask for these players. I mean, you know, when you're put in a position as to not, but I mean, think about it. You're going to be playing. We talked about this last week. You're going to be tackling people. When you grab somebody's leg, you're going to get all this sweat on your hands.
Mhm.
So the mask really doesn't really help you because later on you're going to have that. If the person's sick, you're going to have all that on your hands anyway. What are you going to do? Go to the sideline and spray your hands every time you go on the sideline? Or you're going to want to scratch your nose. You're going to want to, wipe your eyes. You're going to want to do something with somebody sweat in your hand. I mean, this is not looking good, man. It
And
ain't
that's
looking
one of the
good.
problems that they say, don't pick your nose, don't touch
Yeah.
your eyes. You shouldn't be picking your nose anyway.
Yeah, but you played high school sports. I play high school sports, and there's always the time where you're like this, trying to get the sweat
Yeah.
out your eye, or getting the sweat out your face, and or drying your hands on your pants, and then later on you touch your pants, and it's dirty. You're gonna wind up touching your face no matter what.
Yeah, and so that's one of the issues people are already going to have with that. Another thing,
Wow.
Bills long snapper Reed Ferguson said, would be smart. It's going to take some getting used to in order to get our aiming points on sight with visors/holes in the mouth shield. Most of the long snappers use the bottom of the face mask as their main vision area when looking to the punter or the kicker. So I guess it's going to hurt the long snappers, but hey, you see, there's opposites. JJ's against it. You got a guy like Reed Ferguson saying it makes sense. So
Yeah.
it's going to happen. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. So I didn't even think about long snappers looking back.
Yeah.
You're going to have that blurred. I mean, it's clear, but it's not really clear. So they
Yeah.
got to start practicing with that if they're going to force it. Yeah.
I have a snippet of where Oakley, when they came up with design, they said clear plastic with slits or holes in it that block any direct path of a droplet, but do promote airflow communication sound waves. He said they had a visor that covers the eyes. What could we do to cover the mouth and nose area? So they came up with a mouth shield that tried to keep the field of view as much as possible. You don't want to block the lower part. You want to promote breathing and not a sense of restriction. You want to maximize comfort. Prevention from touching the face was also a consideration. And obviously, the biggest consideration was how you can mitigate the exchange of droplets. So just like any other face shield or mask for that matter, you're thinking about the aerosolization. Wow, that was a big word for me. Of droplets and the spread of it via the mechanism, which is starting to be recognized as the most important mode of transmission. So we just discussed that about feeling the restriction of the breath, of breathing and everything. They said the design shouldn't impede any of the breathing. I mean, but it's easier said than done. You could design it one thing, but one thing is to actually put it on and breathe in it in a game situation where you've been out there for 30 minutes and and when you really need that oxygen to see how it works for you.
Yeah. I guess players will get a taste of it once camp comes. Another thing, we're talking about JJ Watt again, which I guess it's about all the players. He posted a tweet today. In the interest of having everyone on the same page in terms of what we know and don't know at this time, here are a few things I've learned about being on 4 NFL player association calls in the last 2 weeks with hundreds of other players. All right, so keep in mind our rookies are scheduled to report in 48 hours. Here's what we know. We want to play. We want to be as safe as possible. We have not received a single valid idea or plan infectious disease emergency response for any team or the league. We don't know if there are preseason games or not. As of right now, there's just 2 scheduled supposedly. We don't know if there will be daily testing, semi-daily testing, etc. We don't know how a potential positive COVID test would affect contracts, roster spots, etc. Last on it was nothing has been agreed upon regarding what training camp will actually look like. JJ's putting it all out there for everybody to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know if the NFL is going to be happy with that one, but it seems like nobody knows what's going on. Everything.
And all we're doing is speculating. Like I said, me and you as fans of a show, we do the show as fans. So whatever we predict isn't concrete by any means. We're going by what we see on the news. Yeah. We're going to see, by what we think what might happen. But like we said, we're looking forward to camp. And then today, there's a press release that 72 NFL players come up positive with the COVID. So what's going to happen now? We're in July. What's going to happen a month from now? What's going to happen right before camp? How many people, will it be less, those numbers, or will it be double? And then what action do you take from that? Is there going to be a season? Is there not going to be a season? So everything's up in the air. Well, we could speculate all we want, but until that deadline comes, that the day before they start, they'll probably have all that data and then figure out what they're going to do. So I wouldn't doubt if they won't. I mean, they're canning all the other sports, a lot of sports. They're doing away with a lot of sports. Already they're look what's happening in Miami. And what else were we talking about? Philadelphia, they're not going to allow anything. So where's that revenue going to come? For the players, for the owners. I mean, think about it. How is that going to work financially for owners of the team, and for all the employees? I mean, now let's say you do have games. We talked about this before. Is there going to be a minimum amount of people on the field, like the ball boys, the water boys? I mean, even with the water, just think about it. When you're on the field, you're drinking water with all the other teammates. Water, I guess you get an individual water bottle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets their own water bottle. I mean, it's not like the community ones where they had the spigots, where they had 4 or 5 different spigots on the side and you just grab one and drank. I mean, there's a lot of things they got to consider, man.
I guess that doesn't matter if you didn't test positive and you're okay. Not
yeah, but how do you know? But you could get it and and be positive for 2-3 weeks, or you could be asymptomatic.
Yeah, that's the craziness. I think what's going to happen is they're going to go to camp. They'll see how camp goes. If this number keeps multiplying, they're probably going to shut it down because they're going to keep rosters.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that would piss me off. I ain't gonna lie, because this is the most excited on paper. The Bills have looked great, and I'm like looking forward to the season. That would be so horrible if that was to happen. I'd be crushed, man, to be honest with you, because I'm looking forward to the season. Imagine that no Brady, all the pickups we got, all the depth we got. I mean, we're looking like we're looking better than the 83 for the Madden game that just came out. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's another thing we got to talk about too. So that's coming up. That's pretty horrible. But one thing you did say was income. How are they going to make their money? Now, if you're not having fans there, you're still making income through TV, sponsorships. I guess sponsorships would go up. Who knows? They'll make their money. They're just losing a lot of money as well. Talking about money, the Buffalo Bills and New Era Cap Company jointly announced that New Era has asked to be released from their naming rights and sponsorship with the Bills. Bobby will throw it up there soon, and I'll read the whole thing, but this is kind of crazy. So what's going to happen, man? No more New Era. Era Field is gone. So.
New Era going bye-bye. New Era going bye-bye.
I guess it still will be on a hat, but it's not going to be on our name.
I ain't getting rid of the hat. I paid a lot of money for these hats, for these New Era hats.
There it is. That's what I'm saying. The Buffalo Bills and New Era Company jointly announced the New Era asked to be released from their naming rights and sponsorship deal with the Bills. The Bills and New Era are currently negotiating the details, so they're going to get some money, of the separation, and the Bills are beginning the process of pursuing a new naming rights partner for the stadium. People were asked, hey, what do you think? What names would you want? Somebody said Veterans Field. We all know that used to be the Eagles, I believe, Veterans Field. But this is a business. So, they might put it up there for a little, but you want your stadium to be named because they make money all sponsorships.
Absolutely.
And they're not just going to leave it up there for free. Look at our show, man. Our show's growing. You see that? Hold on, man. You see our show now? We have stills, man.
We're upgrading, man. Upgrading. Moving on up.
Thanks, Bobby, for throwing those up there. Anyway, it's all about money, man. You need a name. You need to be sponsored. Who would you like to see go in there?
What do you think is going to be called?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to go to the highest bidder. Does Tesla own a thing? Hey, Tesla Stadium? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Somebody will pick it up. Everybody wants to have something.
There's actually a rumor going on about, let me see if I can find it real quick. I had written it down. Okay. There's a company that they put in a bid already to name, the company's name is Tushy. I don't know if you read it. Yeah. Tushy, and they actually make bidets, for bathrooms. Are you serious? I'm dead serious. They put a $12.5 million bid to rename the stadium Tushy Stadium, bro. I hope somebody comes with $13 million and gets the name out of it, because they actually want to they actually want to. What I read, they actually want to get do a college playoff, the bowl games there, and call it the Toilet Bowl. I mean, we can't. Buffalo Bills, man. We've been through so much all these years. This would be kind of like the worst, man. Really, really. I mean, Pagulas, if you ever even just come across the show, please take the pay cut or whatever. Don't take the 12-5. Money's not that much important than naming your stadium Tushy Stadium. I'd rather go, with Marv Levy or something like that stadium, Levy Stadium or somebody. I don't know, but I definitely don't want Tushy Stadium. That doesn't even roll off the tongue the right way.
That's pretty rough. The only thing you could kind of twist it and say, "Hey, man, you're coming into the shit house." I don't know if we can say shit, but I said it. Sorry, but it's like you're
Oh my
coming in
God.
here, you come into our stadium, you're going to be in a world of shit.
I'm not lying. They put in a $12.5 million dollar bid to name the venue, our stadium in Orchard Park, the Tushy Stadium. That is not happening. I mean, I'm a diehard Bills fan. I know you're a diehard Bills fan. That's why we came together to do the show. But if that was to come to fruition, man, I don't know, man. Tushy Stadium, really? You know how much flack you would get. You know much flack when you get if you lose an important game. It's like, well, you're just gonna get this so much memes and so much. Man, please, Pagulas, if you're listening to me, if you just happen to cross this show, if somebody sends you this link, please, please, please do not name it Tushy Stadium.
Welcome to Tushy Stadium in Rochester. Not Rochester. My goodness.
I could just see the backlash, especially from the Patriots, man. Oh, my goodness.
Orchard Park, New York, home of Tushy Stadium.
No,
Please
it doesn't even sound right. Stop it. Stop it.
All right. Another thing, I mean, like I said, we're winging this show today. Everybody came in. We're jumping in, man. Another thing, a lot of stuff I've seen out there today is that actually, let's do this. I'll jump into this one first. The Buffalo News consultant analyst Greg Council from ESPN's NFL Matchup said Espinosa is probably a better version of Shaq Lawson because he'll be a very good run defender, and I think he can be even a better pass rusher. In which Shaq Lawson replied, "Want to laugh out loud? We're going to see if he got the dog in him." I mean, why would you even take a shot at Shaq? The guy's gone. You know he's going to see this. He's going to take offense. I'm bringing it up because we had Shaq defending Trey Davis White last week, and now they come out and take a shot at him.
Yeah, that's not cool. That really ain't cool because even though he actually took a chance by talking about the Bills as being a member of the of the Dolphins.
Dolphins, yeah.
And even saying he even went as far as saying that Trey was better than the guys he's playing with right now, which is, how does his teammates feel about that? I mean, he kept it real, yeah. But for us to give him a cheap shot like that, it's kind of low, man, in my opinion.
I mean, I could see it because he's an analyst. He's going to talk. He's going to give his opinion, which makes sense. Yeah. I'm just saying it because Shaq, took a little jab at Shaq. Shaq came back. So my thing is, let's wait and see. Will he be? Who knows? Maybe he'll have the best. What he should have said was, "Hey, he might have a better rookie season than Shaq did," because Shaq struggled his rookie season. He got it some time.
But Shaq is a proven player. AJ Epinesa hasn't even touched the field yet. I mean, they're going by what he did, in college. And, his combine was, whatever. He fell down a little bit or whatever. But I'm excited about the kid. Me and you, there's no secret about that. I'm excited about the pick. But to go and talk about in comparison another player that's actually played a couple years and actually is a good player and improved himself to a guy that hasn't even stepped on the field, you got to kind of rein back on that and just – I mean, I know that he's opinionated like that analyst, but, to say something about a person that hasn't even stepped on the field yet is kind of like pushing the envelope. You gotta, wait till the season ends to talk crap like that. Okay, AJ Epinesa is a monster. He's a beast. Or, you know what? He could have been like Ryan Leaf and been a bust. You never know. You never know till them boys get on the field and play.
My feeling about Ryan Leaf, he ended up becoming. I'm gonna give my. You brought up Ryan Leaf. This is not even part of our show. I always felt bad for Ryan Leaf. When Ryan Leaf came out, he was compared to Peyton Manning. Okay. Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning. You remember the players on Peyton Manning's team when he came in?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Name like 5 players. Or not even.
I can't name like
players that come out to you right now.
What the heck is the wide receiver? You
Harrison.
got me. Yes.
Marvin Harrison. He had Marshall Falk. He had
Falk. Yeah.
Pollard, the tight end. He had
Hmm. That's
the
the only
other
three I
tight end.
remember.
He had another tight end who was good. He had, was it Brown as another receiver? He had a squad. He went to a team that had good offensive weapons.
Hmm.
Now, name me a player on San Diego's team when Ryan Leaf got drafted. Offensive player. I'll give you the best player at the time was a tight end.
Oh, big man. You're killing me, bro.
Started with a P. His name was Papuno. Remember Papuno, the tight end? He was a beast. Papuno was good, and he had, I think it was Russell was the running back, and that was it.
He
That
didn't have
kid, and
nobody.
then he was compared to Peyton time and time, and this kid had nothing to work with, man. It just ate him up. I'm not saying, he would have had a better career. Maybe if he went to Indy and Peyton went to San Diego
Yeah.
just with a tight end, things might have been different. I always felt bad for the guy. Not saying he would have been great or anything, but I always felt bad for that kid, especially going to that team
Yeah.
compared to freaking
He,
Peyton's team.
he Ryan Leaf was the one that hit his head on the sideline, right? On
I don't
when
remember.
he
That kid had more
huh?
problems. I don't remember.
I think it was Ryan Leaf when he scored a touchdown. He went in the end zone. He ran it
uh,
like headbutted
NFL.
the
I think he did.
headbutted the
The
pad and
goal.
broke his neck or something. He did
Oh, he
something
didn't break
crazy
his
like that.
neck. He probably got hurt. But after all is said and done, I think he got in trouble with the law. And then he ended up winning, I think, the lottery for some money. So it's not too bad for
Did
Mr.
he?
Ryan.
I didn't even know that.
It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from Ryan Leaf. Hey, listen, anybody there watching, if you have who you would think would be a good name for the Buffalo Bills for the stadium, shoot it down there. Bobby will put it out there. You guys have any questions, shoot it out there. Bobby will put it out there. We'll answer them. That's
What
the
you
kind
what
of
you
show
what
we
you
got
thinking
going.
about? What name you thinking about?
I don't. Honestly, I can't even think about anything, man. I don't
I would,
know.
I like Marv Levy. He did so much for the team. Like Levy Stadium would be cool, something
They're
like
not.
that.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's like you go back to the Veteran Stadium. People said that. Another thing, I forgot what I read. It was something else. But anyway, they were like, it's not going to happen. It's money. It's all about money, man. If you're not making money,
Yeah.
everybody's naming rights is about the cash nowadays. So it does not matter. Now, going from there, another thing that's been out in the news is Madden. The Madden rankings for certain players have been dropping, and I don't know if I'm happy about many of these. So anyway, one thing, the first one that came out that I saw actually was that they had Josh Allen throwing power in the game. This was positive. His throwing power was just above. He had the number one throwing power at 99.
Yep.
Mahomes was second. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I like it. I like it. I I didn't see what his accuracy was, but his throwing power is 99. So, which is pretty cool. Good for Allen. Now, the other thing that hit me was first they had ranked Zach Moss seventh amongst the running backs, the rookie running backs. And that didn't bother me, the whole seventh ranked. I didn't care about that. But a weak overall score of a 70? Come on, man. Just a 70? I know he hasn't proven, but that's what you put against.
That's what they go. It goes back. It goes back to what I said with AJ Epinesa.
Yeah.
You got to get on the field, man. You got on the field. Actually, what was I think Singletary was like what, an 83 or something like that.
I think
He was just
better.
slightly ahead.
This was just for rookies. 83 is
Oh, for
better
the
than
rookies.
a
Okay,
70.
okay.
Yeah, this is just rookies. Did you see the video of Moss working out, running routes and stuff?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, man. He looks at these guys. And
There's another video. There's another video going out with Cole Beasley rapping over it. I don't know if you've seen it. It was on Bill's Cold Front Report and Joe Kroom. He videotaped them all working out. Tight ends, everybody was out there just running routes, and in the background is Cole Beasley rapping, And it was a pretty. I was like, wow, I didn't know. I was like, that dude's pretty good. And then I come to find out it was actually Cole Beasley on the rap song. So
I was gonna
yeah,
say he's been rapping for a while. I just never heard any of it,
yeah.
so
Now
I
he's
don't
pretty
know.
good. I was like, man, that's kind of good. And then I was like, he started talking about, some of the stuff he started talking about, as they were practicing, is applied to the practicing. I was like, wow, that's pretty doggone good. But another person that took it to heart, he didn't really take it to heart, was Trey, man. Trey was like, uh, Tre'Davious White, they because I guess they rated him a little bit lower. Do
They
you know the number of the low
That
what
was
they rated
another
him?
thing. They rated
Hmm.
Tre'Davious White. Yeah, Tre'Davious White. I can't speak today. An 83 overall. Now we've
Mm.
talked about this. I mean, I know some people will say, "Oh, you're Buffalo Bills fans." I think he's probably top. I said easy top five corner
Top
in the
three,
league.
man.
I,
He hasn't given up a touchdown as a
I that,
cornerback.
that's
Come on
insane.
now.
In
It
what,
is
3 years?
insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I actually have a quote from him because they
Go
asked
ahead.
him
Yeah,
about it, and they
I
asked him
was trying
about
to
it, and he
find it.
said,
So read that. Go ahead.
yeah, he said it's this is what and I quote. They asked him about what he thought about the ratings of his rating on Madden, and he
Mhm.
said, "It's all good, bro. Been overlooked my whole life. That's why my hustle's different. Hell, I don't even know how to play Madden. Matter of fact, I don't even own a damn game system. You know what would be sweet though? Raising a Lombardi trophy for the 716. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, that this man doesn't even care about the video game, he said, you know what would be cool? Is raising that Lombardi in the 716. That's cool. I was so excited when I heard that
Mhm.
response. I was like, yeah, that's how you're supposed to respond. That's somebody that's hungry to bring a championship back to Buffalo. Well, to Buffalo.
Yeah, I read that, I was like, that's the way it should be. Why are you worrying about it? I get it. Guys are gonna talk crap to each other, man. You're only 83. And another thing, which is crazy, Stephon Gilmore. I know everybody rates him as the top one now, top dog. He got a 99 rating of a
He got
99.
an
Come on,
89. From what I said here, is at 89.
it's an 89. Because one
Yeah,
thing I
yeah.
was reading was saying that they had him in the 99 club. So I wonder
Nah,
which one's true. Hopefully it's an 89 because he should not be a
nah.
99. He should be in the
I think
90s.
the
I would
I
say
think
that.
the 80, it says here that he's at 89. Uh, 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 what was the word I'm looking for now that we were just talking about?
Overall?
89
Yeah,
overall
overall.
89. And
All
I
right.
think what you're thinking about 83 is the overall Buffalo Bill team is overall 83, I believe.
Yes, that's another thing. No, but Tre'Davious White supposedly, I read it was an 83. Is it 89 now?
Yeah, that's right.
Because when they
Got it at
first came
89.
out, when I read it, it said 83. And I was like, come on, man, that's kind of low. There you go.
Right
Look at
there,
it.
look at that.
89. All
89.
right, 89 is better than the 83 that I read. I was
Absolutely.
like, you got to be
Absolutely.
kidding me. And yes, the other thing I read today is that the
It's
Buffalo
nuts.
Bills defense is at 83.
Come on now.
I know. Come on, man. What were we
Come
ranked
on
last
now.
year? Were we ranked like third or fifth? I think it was third.
Top four, yeah.
How are
And
we at
run defense, we were number one. Man,
83?
come on. Really, really. Buffalo gets no love, man. They
No
get no love. But
respect.
that's why I want the season to happen. I want the season to happen. I guarantee you're gonna see a whole bunch of Matt, you know what? We're starting to get love. There's a couple people on ESPN, NFL Network that are actually rooting for us,
Yeah.
uh, that they're saying that, yeah, hey, watch out for the Buffalo Bills, which is better than nothing. Usually they don't even talk about us. Usually teams will be like, oh, we play Buffalo next week,
Yeah.
And as of lately, the past couple years, since McDermott and Bean coming in and changing everything around, I mean, we're actually, we're not playoff contenders no more. McDermott, excuse me, is trying to show people that we're championship contenders now. So we went from, playoff contender to championship, and that's that's what he wants to instill in the players. That's what he's trying to get the players to focus on. Hey, now it ain't about making the playoffs now; it's about winning championships.
Yeah. No, I was about to correct you. I was going to say, what do you mean we're not playoff contenders? And when you said champion, I'm like, whoa, look at this guy, bro. Look at this guy. Listen, I think I have an idea
Uh-huh.
for one of the names. If they don't get a sponsorship for the whole year, besides Levy
This better be
Stadium.
good. I'm gonna write these down. So go ahead.
Again, this is if they don't get a sponsorship, all right?
All right.
Rodney Dangerfield Stadium. Don't
Oh
get
my
no respect. No respect. Come on, man. But I would like Levy Stadium. That's actually cool. I don't know if
I
they'll
like
ever
Levy
do it.
Stadium, man.
You know, I always
How
say I
about
want.
Pagula Stadium? What do you think?
That does not sound good. I
It
mean, don't
doesn't.
get me wrong. It's their team, just like Ralph Wilson
You got to
Stadium.
be something
Yeah, I
catchy.
get
They're
it.
gonna get,
But
man.
Pagula
Listen,
Stadium, I guess. Hey,
like I said, the Bills are up and coming the past 2 years. They're doing a lot better. They get a lot more. We're actually getting some primetime games that we haven't had. Sunday night games, Thursday night games, Monday night games. I think this year on our schedule we have 4 coming up. So we're starting to get a lot of exposure for a small market. So there's gonna be people that come in a 12.5 million bid from Tushy. I mean, somebody out there could come up better with better numbers than that. So
yeah.
I'm expecting to get a good bid in there and getting a good catchy name other than the Toilet Bowl Stadium, man.
Well,
Man, when I
hey,
read that, I thought it was a joke. I literally was like looking at it, was like, this got to be a joke. But sure enough, it's a legit company. They have a legit product, and they're shooting to get the name so they can have, like I said, a bowl game and name it the Toilet Bowl.
yeah.
No,
Well, it's the bidet.
no.
A bidet is not a toilet bowl, okay? It's where you wash yourself.
Hey, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
uh, one of the things was in the news. One of my buddies, like he sent it to me today, was that according to Derek G of the Buffalo News, Orchard Park Town Board discussed how to regulate what has become known as one of the top tailgating destinations in the
Oh my God.
NFL. They're worried about fans gathering in private satellite lots. I think our primary job is to make sure the residents here are as safe as they can be, Councilman Connor Flynn said. Allowing large parties in our community is not the type of risk we should be taking. Beyond the new area field lot, property owners will park their cars, allow fans to park. That's what they do. You've been up to those games, right? First time I ever went there, and I was like, we parked on somebody's lawn for $10. I was like, yo, this is kind of
ten
cool.
bucks.
$10. This is a while ago.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That was a
uh,
long time ago. Now it's like 20, 25 bucks.
yeah. So okay, tailgates were there. Often they turn into wild. What the hell's that word? I don't even know. So anyway, it's a kind of a risk. It's concept of moderation that makes the ability to keep social distance safe and seen almost quaint. It also his main quote was this: "We've had a difficult enough time getting people not to jump through flaming tables. I have concerns about our ability to enforce masks at a tailgate." So it's they know these fans are crazy over here in Buffalo, man. You asked me to try to get some clips to give to your boy so he could voice them over for us, and I didn't even know. I saw top 5 Bills Mafia tailgating things or whatever you want to call them. One was a guy going through a flaming table he caught on fire.
Yeah, I've
That was
seen
one
that one.
thing. Another one was a guy taking a
Slamming the girl.
well, I did. That was the number one was a
Yeah.
guy having coitus with a girl in the parking lot, and people weren't there really. Somebody recorded it, caught them. They
Yeah.
were just did not care. Another one was a guy taking a shot from through some girl's butt crack. Uh, I forgot the other ones. It was just some ridiculous stuff. Like makes real sense to me. I get it. They're having fun, whatever, as long as nobody is getting hurt. But how are they going to enforce face masks with these guys, these people, man?
I don't know,
They're not
man.
going
I
to
don't know what's
care.
gonna happen. But as of now, there's no tailgating allowed in the administrative lot, the team member lot, the training center lot, the tunnel yacht lot, the U Stadium lot. So I don't know. I don't know if you ever heard of like Pinto Ron. I think isn't Pinto Ron the one that they did the catch up and all that? Is that him?
Yeah, Pinto Ron, I guess at some point, he started doing this, he said, in the late 80s.
He's
And
Yep.
then he brings this old Pinto. I don't know how it's still driving. It's all rusting. And
Mhm.
every year he adds some. He barbecues on an old hubcap.
Yeah.
And he uses like a sickle or something to turn the food. It's kind of crazy what he does.
Yeah.
That's his niche. And then at some
Yeah.
point, when he's ready to have a hot dog or a hamburger, people I saw videos of people standing on top of a van
Of
and they
RV. Yeah.
squirt him with
Completely.
yeah, completely, which is nasty.
Like the hot dog don't even get the ketchup. He does.
Yeah, they don't even have ketchup on the hot dog or the hamburger.
Yeah.
It's all on him. It's
It's on him.
ketchup, mustard. Oh, it's nasty. I don't know why he would
But
do that.
that's something he's been doing, and that's what these. I mean, listen, when you go to games, I've been to Jet games. You know, they have good tailgating. I'm not gonna lie, I've been there at Buffalo game when they were at the Jets in the Meadowlands, and they had some cool stuff going on as fans. You know, but by far the Bills have the craziest fan base, the most loyal fan base. I mean, these guys are jumping off RVs, breaking tables. I've
Yeah.
seen videos of a newborn baby. They got the newborn baby and they got a makeshift table and they're just slamming them, not slamming the baby, but you know what I'm trying to say. They're
Yeah, I
like
saw
breaking
it.
them in as a
I
Buffalo
think
Bill fan.
you sent it to me. I think it was supposed to be a gender reveal party or something, and they took the baby and threw it through a little table on top of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on. It was
I
kind of
mean,
funny, but like, come on, man, you gotta draw the line somewhere. Like this is what
yeah, yeah. I mean, the Buffalo Bears, the Bills fans are the most passionate that I know, man. I mean, listen, I remember one time, I think it was the 92, 93. I went to Jets game. I was in the nosebleed seats. I was with a buddy of mine who's a Jets fan. I'm over there wearing a Buffalo Bills jersey. You know, they didn't give me no crap. I guess now they do. I don't know. But back then they did. And I was up in the nosebleed. We were getting blown out like 28-3. So I was freezing up there, and I was like, he was like, let's go. It's a wrap. I'm like, man, nah, man. I came. I want to watch the Bills. I don't get to see the Bills because they're up in Orchard Park. I'm in New Jersey. It's an 8-hour drive. I want to see them. Halftime come. After halftime come, they came back and won by like a field goal. Man, did I get some dirty looks, boy. Ooh. But, you know, my point is that the tailgating guys over there at the Jets facility, the Meadowlands, they were cool. But
yeah.
in Orchard Park, man, these guys, I mean, they go all out. I've seen videos, you know, like I said, with Pinto around with the ketchup. There's guys running around with ashes of their buddy, literally with a thing of ashes, and they asked the guy, what is that? He's like, oh, this is my buddy. We promised that he'd be with us every single game. So every game they go to, they have their buddy in ashes, and they put a beer by him and everything. I mean, how cool is that, bro? I mean, that's some loyalty, man.
That's crazy. I never heard about that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know, I told you I used to work and shooting Jet games and Giant games for years. I used to shoot the tailgate. Everybody was cool, you know. At one point, towards before they went into the new MetLife Stadium, I would shoot in the East End Zone. It was called the East End Zone because it was towards New York City. So everybody knew I was a Buffalo Bills fan. So I forgot his name. Really cool guy, man. He would come down every game, scream, "Yo, Buffalo!" and everybody knew me as the Bills fan. But they wouldn't give you no crap. Now it's totally different. You go to a game. It started towards the end of the old Giant Stadium that people started acting up. Ever since, you know, like Philly had that reputation of you couldn't go there. Like, you get into fights. It was weird because the Giant fans were more like of an older crowd, more relaxed, you know, more respectable crowd. And the Jet fans were more like younger and just loud and crazy. And it always bothered me that when people would go from an opposing team, like say if I went to a game or we went to a game, they would start with us just badgering you the whole game. You get to that point where you can't take it no more, and security kicks you out. Not even kicks them out because I guess they're the whole fan guy, but they were the ones starting all the smack. And then they kicked out the poor guy who's coming to watch his team from another state.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I seen it a lot at Yankee Stadium. I grew up a Yankee fan. I lived in New York. We used to watch it on the number 4 train up in New York and watch the game through there. Or when I used to go, you know, as of recently, I haven't been in a new stadium. But the old stadium, man, there was, you know, as a Yankee fan, I kind of was embarrassed. There was a lot of guys that would bother the opposing teams and stuff like that. But anyway, we're getting off topic here. Anyway,
it's
the bottom line is, I don't know. Bottom line is, Buffalo Bills to me, are the most passionate fans. They have the most fun at the tailgate part, you know, at the tailgates. And to ban this now, where do you go from here? I mean, is it going to be what happens now? What happens now? You're not going to be able to tailgate. We don't know if we're able to. As of now, we're still able to go to the games as of right now. but you probably have to sign a waiver. You know, you're gonna have to. I
Well, that
mean,
was yeah, that
wear
was one of the
masks,
ideas.
gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna happen? You know, and what do you think is gonna happen?
Honestly, if it keeps going this way, I don't think there's going to be fans in the stadium. And if you did do fans, I mean, what are you going to do? You could do a lottery, let's say. Every, what are you going to put? 6 feet apart? You know, what are you
Yeah.
going to have? 20 people
So
in one
if the
section,
stadium holds
maybe?
what? What do they hold? 78,000. So you
It
figure.
depends with the suites and stuff. But let's say, like you said, say 80,000. You know,
So you're gonna what do you do? Cut that in half,
not even. It'd be
or
less than that.
fourth?
You know,
Be a
what are you going
fourth.
to, if you try to do, you could say, let's do a lottery. You're going to have to, if you do by the guidelines, everybody has to wear a mask, you know, and you would have to separate it 6 feet in each direction,
Yeah, man.
6 feet each
What a
direction.
mess.
That would be, that's the only way I could see them if you're going to be strict about it.
Can you
You would
imagine the
have
lines getting in too? You gotta have 6 feet apart
6 feet
just to
apart.
get in.
Make sure you get
Man.
there early. You can't get in there
And then
too late. You're
and
not going to get in.
if you really want to get deep into it, let's say this goes all through the whole season,
Yeah.
and hopefully we make the playoffs. Hopefully, like I predicted, or I'm trying to predict, that we'll get a first round bye and have all that, or have a home game. There won't be no home field advantage because there's not going to be anybody in the stadium. So it's kind of like when you go to play, let's say New England, it's not a home game for them because there's not that crowd factor anymore. It's like who has that home field advantage because it's not going to have that home field advantage feel.
We did a thing. I work also at Madison Square Garden, and I don't know if they were the only ones that did it. It was a few years ago. They played a whole game, quiet, no music in the background.
Oh man,
The fans were there, so the fans could make noise, but not all that excess stuff that we usually do. And it was so weird. It was so quiet. You have the cheers of the fans every now and then. You didn't get like the defense. You didn't
yeah,
get all that other stuff. And so just imagine, and the fans were there, but we weren't playing music. We weren't doing anything. So just imagine a football game with no fans.
that's going to be horrible. Have you just, for an example, I've been watching UFC. I've been watching UFC for a long time. This latest fight, Masvidal Usman fight. Did you see it at all?
No, who won? I don't even know who
Well,
won.
Usman won,
Okay.
but my point is, there's nobody really in the Coliseum wherever they had the venue. They had it. They call it Fight Island over there
Okay.
in another country, but it's actually a little Coliseum,
Mhm.
and it's kind of weird. The only thing cool about it is like you can hear the punches, you can hear them talking to each other. That was the cool part about it. But other than that, before this COVID stuff, the crowd was a big factor. The screaming, the hollering, like you could barely, every time a punch was thrown, you could hear the crowd erupt. So to see a fight like that with literally total silence, all you hear is kind of like the coaches telling them what to do.
Mhm.
It's kind of a weird effect, and I don't know how that's going to translate in an NFL game with the silence. Like you're literally going to be able to hear the hits. These guys talk crap to each other, believe it or not. They talk crap to each other. They cuss, they spit, they argue. So I don't know. I don't know if those masks are going to help any, but they are going to cuss. It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be weird because you're going to be able to hear the coaches. You're going to be here. You're going to clearly hear the
Everything.
cadences and everything. So there's no reason for you to be jumping off sides. There's no reason for you to
Watch the
start.
ball.
Yeah,
Watch the ball.
there's no reason to be like
Or
quiet
when, hey,
or anything.
or when there's a fumble. Peter. All you're gonna hear is Peter all over the stadium.
Dude, yeah, it's just it's all up in the air. See how it goes. Another thing, Jesus, I just went blank for a second.
That's right.
Once I forgot which stadium or which team was it. They were saying possibly pumping in fake crowd noise. I don't know how that would work. There's going to be a regulation because, like, say in basketball arenas, you can't pump the audio past certain level. So I guess they
Yeah,
would have to
DBs.
do that for football. But again, it's still going to be weird because if you're watching, you know damn well
It's
there's no
fake.
people making no noise. It's all fake. You know, it'll give an effect, but it's not cool. It's going to be stupid. That's what I mean. Why even bother doing that?
This is a first for anybody to watch something like this. I mean, I don't know how it's going to transpire. I don't know what they're going to do to correct it. I don't think there is anything you could correct it. And like we discussed before, 72 positive COVIDs, positives for NFL players, and we're still in July. We still got 2 more months to go. You know, you got guys, Croft and them guys on jet skis. Who knows the interaction they got with people? I'm just giving you an example. You know what I'm saying? They're out there
Oh,
living
no.
their life. I mean, they're not working. They're
Yeah.
enjoying their life right now. So they're coming in contact with people that are probably infected. Some of the NFL players out there probably are asymptomatic. They don't know they have it. They get it from their family members or whatever. I mean, you know, they're signing jerseys. They're signing a whole bunch of stuff. They got contact with a lot of, you know, football paraphernalia, if you will. You know, everything, footballs, helmets.
Hmm.
Somebody's got to touch it that might be infected. I mean, this is really crazy stuff we're dealing with. And like I said, there's 2 more months, a month and a half, or whatever it is, until they have to report. And I guess we'll see the data then, how much it's elevated or, you know, retracted. We don't know yet. We're just gonna have to wait. It's like like a waiting game to see what happens.
That's all this is so far. It's a big old waiting game. I mean, again, it's just going to be weird if the numbers keep escalating. 782, that's just as a Friday. So just imagine if they check this Friday a week later, look what are the numbers. Like you said, a lot of people are living their lives. A lot of people,
Yeah.
listen, my girl and I, we were talking about like the face mask. We go to New York. We actually went for a recording, and just people walking around with some, people walking without them,
Yeah.
and it's like split. So you don't know what these players are doing. Some players might be following everything, like, hey, face mask, stay distance. You see, some of these guys are working out together, so they might keep it to 10 people. But if one of them are sick, now you all 10 of them are sick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nobody's regulating it, so it's going to be up in the air. Like some people believe, like masks work. Some people don't believe they work.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have their own opinion, and it's going to stink because nobody really knows. And then let's see who gets sick, who doesn't get sick.
Yeah.
It's all hearsay. We don't know.
And then you worry about, like you said, who gets sick, who doesn't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know we have depth on our team, but we can't have Josh Allen catching that crap and be out 3-4 weeks. We can't have Singletary catching that crap and be out 3-4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It changes the whole game. Do we have depth? Absolutely. Can somebody step up? Yeah, but it's not the same. You know it and I know it. I mean, you want to keep it real. We want Josh Allen in there. We want Devin Singletary in there. We want the starters to be in there, but the way things are looking, it could happen to any team, man. Next thing you know it, you got, the Colts making a run because all their team is healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, everybody's sick. New England's sick. We're sick. This and that, and it's just a big mess, man.
But my thing is, let's say if they're going to force a 3 week, what's it called? 3 week. How do you say it again?
So what was it again?
The 3 week when you say you get sick.
Oh, quarantine.
Okay, so if they're going to enforce a 3 week quarantine, how are they going to adjust the roster? I know we talked about earlier at one point was that they might add 4 people to the practice squad. Now, you lose 3-4 people to, let's say, COVID, they're out for 3 weeks each. Now okay, you could cover them with those 4 guys. But what if you're a team and you get like 6 or 7 players, and you don't have enough players?
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's just
the way and the rate this is going,
mm-hmm.
I can't see how it's going to be a season. All the numbers that are coming down here, especially down here in Florida, like we're number 1 in the whole United States now. We went from like a couple thousand to like hundreds of thousands now. I mean, infected. I mean, it's just insane the increase in numbers. It's like
I'm not laughing about the numbers. I'm laughing about now. Your guys are like number 1 with retirees and with COVID. And you got all the old people from over here going down there, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I go everywhere to mask. Me personally, I have high blood pressure issues as a former diabetic, so I am a person that has to be careful and contracting this thing. So can it happen to me? Yeah, but I'm trying to take all the precautions I can. Wear a mask. I got hand sanitizer, but I'm still susceptible to get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even play football. I'm 50 years old. These guys are in their 20s and their 30s. They're going to be tackling each other.
Man.
They're going to get sweat on each other. They're going to get bodily fluids, spit, everything, So we talked about that before too. How do you avoid that? A mask ain't really going to help you. It might help you a couple droplets, but at the end of the day, you're going to have all that crap all over your uniform, over your body, over your helmet, over your mask, and your hands everywhere else. What, are they going to have a special chamber before they go in the locker room and just get sprayed down?
That's kind of cool. Good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I should write Goodell in that. Tell them about it.
Let's try to market this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I don't, whatever. As a Bills fan, I actually have his jersey on. I was looking at one of these things, where they call players bust and stuff. Paul Postlesny, do you think he was a bust?
He was the best? A bust?
A bust. Yeah.
A bust?
Yeah, for the Bills. No, right?
Nah. I don't think so.
He was a bust, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? The guy was a beast when he was with us.
Nah, he was good. Where did he wind up going? He wound up going to Miami. Where did he wind up going? Or Detroit? Where did he go?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. That's right.
A whole bunch of money. The money was crazy.
Yeah, I thought he was a great player.
Yeah,
I was kind of. Yeah.
I was surprised when I saw that. I'm like, "Are you serious? This guy's not a bust. The guy was good for us." The reason was he left, or they let him go, is because he got more money from Jacksonville. He had a big contract from Jacksonville.
Didn't he break his leg too, or something?
He broke his leg with us. I think it was his first or second year. He was having a
I remember that.
And then he broke his leg. I think that was the year Takeo was still there, I believe. I'm not sure. But yeah, he was
Spikes. Yeah, he was there too. Yep.
I always thought that was some BS.
Man, time flies when you're having fun. Listen, real quick before we close the show. We didn't even bring this up about the Washington. What do you think they're going to change the name to? Being that
Washington,
they're getting rid of the Redskins.
They had a name. It wasn't the Warriors, even though a lot of people were saying Warriors. Speculation was it was the Washington.
The Senators.
No, it wasn't the Senators. It would be tough to be Senators because you have the Ottawa Senators. I don't know how that would work. But let me see. I'll actually check it out because I think there was a report on their team that they had some name. I don't know. Talk amongst yourself. Talk loud. Find something. What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know.
I've heard something, and I was like,
I like the Washington Presidents. I don't know, man. I mean, what can they possibly come up? What can they possibly come up with?
I forgot the name, and it was actually. I was like, all right, that actually makes some sense. Bobby, did you hear about the name possibly for Washington? But they are having issues. They're getting lawyers and everything, getting ready for some problems possibly.
I like Red Tails myself.
Washington.
Washington what?
The Red Tails.
That's it.
That's what I heard too. The Red Tails.
No, I didn't. The one I read was the Washington Red Wolves. And I
heard the Red Tails like an airplane. It was like an airplane. They had the logo like an airplane.
Okay.
The Red Tails. That's the one I heard. I've heard the Washington Pundits, the Washington Kickbacks.
I didn't hear that one. I heard
but
the Red Wolves.
That's just what they were throwing out there. But the Red Tail's the one I've heard that's sticking the most right now.
Yeah, and then more problems for Washington. There was 15 female employees saying there was sexual harassment
coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big thing that's coming out of Washington too. That was supposed to be big news. I think it came out either yesterday or today. Exactly what you said. 15 females being sexually harassed. So that's another development developing story that we're going to keep on track for next week, and then we'll let you guys know what happened.
Yeah, as long as thank God it's not the good
Washington's
thing,
just a mess.
It is a mess right now. The Red Wolves.
Hey, if it goes to fruition, we could call them the Washington Predators.
Yeah. No, you can't, man. You have Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators.
It's not going to be able to work. We saw Kurt chime in, say hi in the beginning of the show. As always, the K&K show, Kurt and Kenny, plus a few other guys that go on there with them every Wednesday and Saturday, right? Or no, Wednesday and Sunday, Bobby, or Wednesday and Saturday? I think it's Wednesday and Sundays at 8 o'clock.
Wednesday and Saturday usually.
Well, there it is, Wednesday and Saturdays at 8 o'clock. Any other news, Bobby? We got a.
Nah, just happens.
Hey, Bobby,
hopefully a big press release comes out on Monday, so that'll be a big week for us next week. So we'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
That's what I'm waiting on.
We'll see. Hey, maybe. Hey, who do you think is gonna get the rights for the stadium? Maybe Tesla. I can see Tesla. They have a lot of money. It's got to be somebody.
As long
with
as
a lot of
anybody, as long as it ain't Tushy.
money. I don't know. You don't want no Tushy.
And
If
some
they-
of the names they were talking about were Red Hawks, the Red Hawks, Washington Red Hawks, the Washington Warriors. There's another one, the Red Hawks,
Yeah.
Red Tails. Those are the ones that I've just looked up and I've been hearing about. But I think the Red Tails is the one they're trying to go with.
I liked. I don't know where I saw it, but I saw Red Wolves, and I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. Anyway,
They got a whole list of them, but those were the top 5 that I just mentioned. They actually got like Washington Renegades, the Defenders, the Senators, the Sentinels,
Sentinels. That'd be cool.
the Sentinels, the Defenders. So I don't know. I think Red Tail's the one that they've been throwing out there the most. It's been getting a lot of positive feedback. So, my speculation from what I'm hearing, I think it's going to be the Red Tails, but we will find out before next week.
Yep. Anyway, as always, it's been another show. Thanks for joining us. Mr. Vinny and Bobby, we're signing off. Viva los Bills.
Viva
See you
los
next
Bills. Go Bills. Go
Yeah.
Bills.
See
No
you next
Tushy
week.
for the stadium.
7:30. No bidets. We don't want no bidets.
No
for-
bidets.
Hey, let's get the bidet out of here.